Good evening, good evening, good evening. Statman AJT here, and I'm on a solo mission tonight. Everybody else has lives. I don't. So I'm representing the Number Streets podcast this evening. Um, and I have a lot to talk about with today's scrimmage. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to um Hampton High, Justin Vias, the athletic director, Shonda Bailey, um, Derek, for helping us to get everything right, get everything set. And I want to give my normal shout outs, God, Bree, Mom, my guys, Neptunes, Brotherhood Hoop League, everybody relentless, who kind of rock and support with me and the group. So I'm just thankful, to everybody who shows love and who shows support to everything that I'm doing, everything that my people are doing. And I'm just grateful and thankful to God for all of that. Now, Brotherhood Hoop League scrimmage. Today was the first scrimmage of the 2025 Brotherhood Hoop League, and honestly, it did not disappoint. I'm pulling up the rosters right now because I want to make sure that I get everybody's name correctly, and I am going to go team by team based on the games. If you're in the comments, let me know. I want to see what y'all got to say. Put them on the screen. First of all, again, shout out to everybody who came through and balled out today. There was definitely some standouts. I'm gonna get to who I felt stood out today. We're gonna have our preview and like our official picks for the season. I'm gonna go into a little bit of that today, based on what I saw today. There were some teams that I was thoroughly and pleasantly, surprised with, and there was some teams, that I don't want to say disappointed because I know everybody's trying to. What's up, Tay? Trying to work the kinks out. But I'm gonna touch on everything. Again, your comments are welcome, whether they're good or bad. We love to hear it. And I'm gonna start with the first game, and that was Team Elite versus Team Jelly. Team Elite, the returning champions, featuring the runner-up MVP Lou Radford, star players Barry Gardner, D Knight, the defensive player of the year Justin Ned, coach of the year. And I'm gonna get to that too, Tay. I'm gonna get to that too because there was some things I noticed out there. Defensive player of the year Justin Ned. They got a deep team. And they added 2 star level players in Dontrell Jones and Dominique Carter. And, they were working the kinks out a little bit today, and they were going against Team Jelly, led by Jew, Coach AJ Prayer. They had some new guys too, some new blood. I'm gonna start with Elite first. They were just working the kinks out a little bit from my personal perspective. They didn't start Lou, just to change it up a little bit. Ned was flying all around the court though. If you hear Ned, shout out to you. You were playing your typical defense. It looked like the court though, because I know that a lot of people hoop on the y'all hoop on a regular basis, but it looked like that court, like Tay said, like it took some people by surprise initially. I don't think people expected to be fatigued that fast. I also don't think that people expected the pace and intensity of the games. Like people were gassed after a few times up and down the court. And you could tell some guys were knocking some rust off, right? And that's going to happen, especially when you're used to playing in places where the level of competition isn't high. That's one of the things we pride ourselves on here at the Brotherhood Hoop League, having a high level of competition. Barry hit some shots. Lou was getting to the basket. He missed some layups. He made some too. You know, he was showing his typical force. And like I said, Damo hit the game winner. So my general outlook for that team is I expect them to be in the hunt at the end of the season again. I think Trail led them in scoring today, if I'm not mistaken. D-Night, if you're watching, I counted 10, I think. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But Trail fit in perfectly with them. And he's the type of guy who can put the ball on the floor. He can shoot. He's very physical for a guard / wing. And he really fits into their ethos, right? They want to force turnovers, and they want to be physical with you, right? They got probably the most physical front court in the league, led by Lou. And that's how I think they're going to get it done. They're going to have to be physical. They're going to have to force turnovers. And they could probably go, 8 deep now with quality talent. Now, one of the things that not just them, but all teams, y'all going to have to use y'all bench this year. We saw it. Y'all going to have to use y'all bench this year. Like, you can't ride guys all game like you did last year. It's going to take some time to catch up to that pace, catch up to that intensity. There's more athletes in this league too. So, but I think the outlook for them is very bright. And Team Jelly, for me, they acquitted themselves very, very well today. Juice started off a little bit slow. Then he hit 3 or 4 straight threes. I think they actually led at halftime. The new guy, Tabo Gate, you know, he's a physical presence, a physical ball handling guard. And I think that physicality on that team is needed. They got Kenyon, the shot blocker. Like, he flies up and down the court. Great athlete too. And I think that, you know, in certain lineups, like they don't necessarily have to put him on the big guy. They can use Tabo for that. They were missing some guys. They were missing Marcus. Jew, if you're watching, I forgot who else y'all were missing. Y'all were missing a few others too. Dev Blakely wasn't there. Then, you know, that's kind of their fire starter on defense. He's an athlete. He kind of, gets it in out there on both ends of the court. You know, aggressive driver to the basket. But I honestly think that Jelly is going to have a different function. Last year, they liked to play fast with AJ. I think this year they're going to play a little bit slower. Like, you can see that they ran more offense through Jew this year. So I like to kind of see a little bit more balance from them. Kind of save Jew a little bit. But it was a good physical game. Again, the fatigue is something that guys are, y'all gonna have to get used to that. Like, it's tough. And I mean, that's easy for me to say I ain't playing, but like, y'all really gonna have to get used to the size of that court and how big it is. But I think that was a good first game. And I think honestly that, that set the tone for the rest of the games, because after that game, and I'm, y'all forgive me, I'm getting old. I'm looking at the schedule right now, and the next game was X2G versus the Dream Team. And for me, this was the best game of the day for me. I'm going to start with the Dream Team. I know Tay is here. He hit a game winner, and it was a tough game winner. It's posted all over social media. If you haven't seen it, it's on the Brotherhood Hoop League page. It's on my story. Y'all can go look at that. He was also mic'd up. So if you ain't got nothing to do and you want some entertainment, listen to him talk to himself and talk into the mic if you don't got nothing to do. It's absolutely hilarious. But Tay hit a game winner. I like their team. They miss Will, but they really look different than last year, right? They got the 50 points today, 16-minute clock, and they were struggling to get to 50 last year. So I'm glad that y'all beat y'all offense up a little bit, Tay. but to me, the one of the best players of the day, if not the best player, was my guy Kurt. So Kurt, if you're watching, put a comment there so I can shout you out. You absolutely killed it today on both ends of the court. And I told you after the game, that's what I need to see from you every week, right? That's the expectation that I'm holding you to every week. Because, and I'll share a little bit what you and I talked about. I need you to work your way inside out. Yup. He was great today. I told him that he was absolutely great today. And Tay, y'all got to make sure y'all get him the ball. Y'all got to make sure y'all get him the ball. Like, and I told Kurt, hey, listen, man, stop. Don't start outside and take the harder shots. Work inside. Get some offensive rebounds. Be closer to the basket, and then work your way out. Because, excuse me, when he hit a few jumpers after he hit the layups. I know Tay and y'all noticed that. Anybody else watching noticed that? And Kurt had to notice it too. Like, Kurt was great today on both ends of the court, stunting and recovering on defense, contesting shots, and he rebounded today. And I told him, I said, Kurt, I can't have those bad rebounding games that I saw last season. I can't have that. Like, I don't know how many minutes Meach y'all plan on playing him this year, but I need at least 7-8 rebounds from him. If he's playing 25 to 30 minutes, I need 7-8 rebounds. I need it. And if you're not grabbing the rebounds, Kurt, box out so somebody else can come get it. Because, like, that performance today was really good. It was inspired. I could tell that you really wanted to. There you go, Kurt. What's up, brother? I could tell that you really wanted to give a good performance out there today. And you absolutely did that. Like, you were one of the best players out there today. Chris Calvin, I like what I seen a little bit. I think you was getting adjusted a little bit, and then you got into it with Justice. I'm gonna talk about Justice when I talk about X2G. And Chris Henman, I like his game. Like, he can go. The smaller point guard, I like his game, man. I really do. And I think that he is an excellent fit with y'all. I don't know if y'all gonna start him or not. I'm not, that ain't my place to give. But he needs to play. Chris needs to play. He got a hesitation, stop-start game, and he's very, very quick. So I need Chris to get some minutes out there. Taj, as you know, Taj, I think you're one of the best defenders in the gym, and I think they can deploy you in any way possible. And Taj, I liked your defense. I like your effort out there. Boom, you was moving your feet. Again, man, I like y'all. I like this team a lot. And I told Tay, you still watching, obviously, we talk outside of this. We had a conversation. This team gonna go as far as Tay take them. Tay is the leader on that team. Shout out to Meach, new coach in the league. Appreciate you doing that, man. You had them together. You had your clipboards. You had your lady videoing and all of that, man. So thank you for that. But this team is gonna go as far as Tay goes. That's just the bottom line. Him and I talked after the game, and I told him that his demeanor was great. He wasn't doing all the stuff that he was doing last year. He was focused on the game. He bottled that emotion, and Tay, that's what they're gonna need. That's what they're gonna need from you, right? Like, you the leader of that team. You the one that got all them guys together. You gotta keep it together. You got to. And today it looked great. You was hitting tough shots. I always told you need to work from foul line down. You don't need to be at the top of the key doing all that, save some energy. But I like what I saw from Dream Team today. I really liked it. But to me, the biggest surprise, man, X2G. Like, I don't really know those guys very, very well. So, Julian, if you're watching, Trevor, if you're watching, listen, y'all. Like, this is the expansion team. Listen. I don't know what people thought about them before they got on the court today, but they opened some eyes today. I know they opened my eyes, right? And a lot of that was because I didn't know. I knew Cam, of course, and I know he could play. Lex Alexander is a physical, compact player. He can shoot. He's a powerful driver, and he's very strong. Like when he drives into people, people move out the way, or not move. He moves them out the way. He's really gonna help them. I think Trevor, he has an unorthodox style of play, but like he was hitting jumpers, he up and under in the post, little handling, getting to the rim. He can jump. He does a little bit of everything for them. So, like, he helped them a lot. And honestly, I think Justice is gonna get in some fire. Justice is really gonna give them some fire. And that's something that they could use. I like his game too, beyond the intangible stuff. Like him and Chris Calvin was going at each other. And that's the type of thing you want to see. Like, nothing over the top, but that's the type of fire that they gonna need on that team. He can get to the basket. He moves well off ball. I think he got an and one off the ball too. Like again, and these dudes play with a chip on their shoulder, man. And I love that as long as it's under control. Nemo was doing this thing out there. Shout out to him. Shout out to Julian too. But honestly, man, I want to give my biggest shout out, and I really, really hope he's watching. I told him after the game, I want to give my biggest shout out to Petey, man. So, Petey, if you're watching, I told you after the game, that's what we need to see from you. That's what Julian, that's what everybody needs to see from you, man. That right there. And for me, yeah, Dante, it is too late. It is too late to join, man. But I think Petey, and again, I told you after the game, man, that performance was a great performance. Like you was really doing your thing out there, getting to the basket. You was defending, like, and that's what. Yes, he was, Tay. Yes, he was. And for me, like everything was under control. That's the biggest thing for me. Everything was under control, and that's the Petey right there. Because we all know Petey. Petey can play. He can play, but sometimes the emotions, and I get it, we're all emotional players, but that right there, Petey, if you watching, brother, you get the biggest shout out for me today, man, because that was an excellent performance. It really was, man. It really was. X2G, man, I don't know about y'all, but like they're really going to be a force to reckon with. They got the handle. They got a little bit of shooting. They got fire. Only thing I worry about with them, because is their size. I think Julian, if I'm not mistaken, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong or if somebody wasn't there. I wish they had some more size. Now these guys play bigger than their size, which is absolutely helpful. But I feel like they're missing some size. But I like the way that they acquitted themselves today. So shout out to those guys, man. That was the best day. That was the best game of the day for me. And again, shout out to Tay, man. You hit the game winner. Oh, that's right. They was missing Super. That's right. But shout out to Tay, man. You hit the game winner today. Listen, man. Like I played against you enough. I've seen you do that enough, and I wasn't overly surprised. But again, that's what they're gonna need from you. That's what they're gonna need from you. Trying to think, do I have any more thoughts? I don't think I have any more thoughts, but X2G, man, they really, really acquitted themselves very well today. Next game, and I think this team played the best today. Village United versus Mentality. This was a blowout. I'll start with the good first in Village United. I don't remember what the score was, but I think at one point it was like a 20-point lead. I think the scary thing for the league for me is they were able to accumulate and they were able to get this lead, and Jason Dietrich didn't even need to activate. That's the thing for me that really kind of surprised me, right? Because I'm looking at the game and I'm doing the waiver stuff, but I'm paying attention to the game. And last year, especially after Jermaine got hurt, it was until Brandon got there, it was just Jason for the most part. Like they had guys on their team they could play, but everything was running through Jason. But this year, and I'm looking at their roster right now, like they got guys on their team, y'all. Like obviously they led by the MVP. Jermaine, want to give a big shout out to you, man, for coming back from your injury, man. You slimmed down, you look good, man. Rebounding, scoring inside, you even hit a jumper. So like you was doing your thing out there. I was about to get to him in a few minutes, Tay. Brandon doing this thing on both ends of the court. Leo, and I don't want to say I coach Leo, but he comes out to the Neptunes practices, and I constantly tell him, you need to be more aggressive. And aggressiveness isn't just looking to score. It's when you drive and you draw the defense. And Leo is a pure point guard, so I get it. But he looked great out there, man. And he really, really is looking to get guys the ball in their spots, man. And for him, today he was looking to attack. That's what I want to see from Leo right there. Bottle that up, Leo, if you're watching. That's what it is. That team is going to be that much better when you make the decision to go. Don't wait. Obviously, they call the play, go to play, do the play. But if you got an advantage, take advantage. Listen, basketball is about creating advantages. You want to make the defense work. And like this is a very competitive league, but none of us are professionals, right? So creating advantages is a thing. And he did that really well for them today. Like, shout out to Jamar. I said I've been a fan of his since I seen him at the Combine. I think he's a first team all brotherhood type of guy. To get that time, I think he was picked in the second round. Like that's a steal for them. Julius Carlton was getting it in old school in the post, up and unders. Like that's a release valve that you can go to at the end of the shot clock. Listen, man, Shadell flying up and down the court, Conrad getting buckets off the dribble. Like this ain't last year's villains, y'all. Like I know that they changed their name. They're gonna be a force to reckon with. Like they're gonna be a force to reckon with. Like led by my brother, Coach Rat. They look really good. And for me, that was the best team and the best win of the day. Because for them to do that without having to activate Dietrich should be scary for everybody else. Dietrich averaged 28 last year, 29. But last year he had to average that for them to have any kind of chance to win. I don't know how many points he had today, but for them to win by that much, what's up, Nori? Yeah, today's the only day. The season starts on April 13th. So for them to put up that performance without Jason activating like that should be scary for everybody else. Now the Mamba mentality, I was a little bit disappointed today. I know they're missing Big X, and that's a big piece for them. Like last year, X was kind of, he was kind of like the fourth option for them last year, but this year they're going to feature X, or they should feature X, right? He's a big body. He can score around the basket. He's a great rebounder, physical presence inside. Like they really, really missed him today. He'll be ready when the season starts, but you could tell, like, guys were trying to find their spots. One thing, and Booty, if you're watching, one of the things that I would like to see you do is I need you to, because last year you were more of a playmaker, and then you scored off of that. But you may have to change your mentality this year because they need your scoring more. John's not there. X wasn't there today. They need more of your scoring. So for me, like going into games, you may have to get that mindset that you're going to have to score more and then let your playmaking set up off of that. Trigg didn't have his best game. I know Trigg going to come to play week 1, but it's really, for me, like it's going to be the holdovers from last year. That's what's going to get them back to where they were last year. If they and to exceed that, they gotta have Booty, they gotta have X, they gotta have Pollard. Like, you know, they got to have those guys. They got to have Trigg, Denari. Like, and I think once X comes back, you know, they'll be able to get in their roles. Obviously, I'm not writing them off. It's just a preseason game. You know, I was just looking for a bit more from them. You know, they're integrating their new guys. By the way, I don't know, Booty, if you watching, was Tyreek there today? I don't remember seeing him, or if anybody knows, was Tyreek Ward there today? I didn't see him, or maybe I did see him and just didn't know it was him. But I'm confident that y'all gonna get it together. Booty's a leader now. So for me, Booty, because I know you can do it. You were one of the best, if not the best, point guards in the league last year. You're going to have to go into the games looking to score first, because they need you scoring more, because you're missing, when X gets back, you're missing John. So that's the only thing I would say. Try to get Trigg going and then work off of that. But I think mentality is going to be good, especially when X is there. Again, that's a big threat inside that every team in the league has to account for. He can get up to 15 or 20 a night, and they're going to need that from him. They're going to need that from X. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he's integrated back into their offense, where they're doing some pick and roll or just straight post-ups. He's one of the biggest players in the entire league, and he can physically overwhelm just about anybody. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they integrated him back. Today wasn't the best performance from them, but I also don't think this is who they are going forward. In the last game was the Bullies and the Kings. I'll start with the Bullies. The Bullies surprised me. I told Reese that after the game. I told him I didn't see the vision at first. I didn't understand the vision at first, but they did. I was surprised, and I told him that. I can't lie. Like, they did well today. And for me, I think the formula for them, they're gonna have to get up and down the court. They're gonna have to get up and down the court, because they're not the biggest team. If I'm not mistaken, they're actually the smallest team. You got athletes, you got Bree, like you got athletes, and I think that's gonna be the key to y'all success. Obviously, you got Ryan back. Batman wasn't there. That's somebody who, you know, who y'all gonna, you know, y'all gonna rely on for scoring. Melo was getting to the cup. Aaron Evans, shout out to him too. I think he hit 2 or 3 threes, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody gonna have to correct me on that. But he could shoot. I know Reese hit a few threes. Marius hit one. Ryan was, you know, doing his normal Ryan stuff. Henry, I like the way that I like the way that y'all move the ball today. Shout out to AB and Coach Nick, man. That's gonna be the key for y'all. Y'all got to move the ball, and y'all got to get up and down the court. Y'all got, again, especially with Bree on the court, like y'all gonna have to get up and down the court. And I think that's how y'all gonna get to play. Because in the half court game, you know, y'all are the smallest team, and I think that could hurt y'all a little bit. But y'all really acquitted yourselves very well today. And into the Kings, and I've told Aaron this, and I told DJ, and I may have told Dante, they're gonna have to worry about that shoring up whoever is the primary ball handler, whoever they decide that should be, and they just need to go with that. It doesn't just have to be one person all game. Basketball is a team game. But I like what I saw. I really did. The vision is there. The formula is there. I think they just need to figure that out. Whether it's Aaron, whether it's Dante, whether it's DJ. I know they missed Ron today. Like, but when y'all moved the ball and y'all swung, and Newman got a 3, that's what I saw from y'all. You talking about the zone that they played? Yeah. Yo, you talking about the bullies? Yeah, Kurt. Yeah. But I saw, but this is the thing that I saw from the Kings. They got the ball to the middle and Aaron cut baseline and got a layup. That's 10 points every game. And I that's why I said for them, it doesn't just have to be one person with the ball. The formula's there. Dante was getting to the rim. I think he's the fastest player in the league. So when he has the ball, I think he should look to push every time and get layups. That's how you get easy buckets by pushing in transition. And shout out to my big cuz Rico. Like, it was really good to see him out there. He hit a few threes. That's my cousin. Also, shout out to BJ Burton. Like, that's family for real. It's always good to see family. And I just really think for the Kings, I think that they need to decide that. I think they could compete with anybody. They could beat anybody. But I think that they need to figure that out, whether it's Dante, whether it's Aaron, whether it's DJ, because they got to move, they got to move the ball, get guys open shots, because now you got some more shooting on the team. So for me, before I get off, after week 1, after the scrimmage, and again, these aren't official, but I think Villains United looked the best. I do. X2G, Dream Team, they're up there for me. They're up there for me, and I think they have elite. You can't count the champions out, Jelly. But I think Villains United looked the best in the scrimmage today, and I think that's the team that going forward. That's the team. Obviously, put the champions aside because they're the champions and they're still a great team. But out of the rest of the teams, I think that Villains United is a team that y'all really got to look out for. Because again, if they could do that without Jason getting busy, that's not, the rest of the league should be kind of worried about that. Because once he gets going, then people might be in trouble. Before I go, I want to thank everybody again for watching tonight. April 13th. That's the first week of the season. Hampton High School. We want everybody to come out. We'll be posting flyers. I post a lot. Any more information, the jersey should be here soon. I'm really, really thankful to everybody who's contributing to this. And the players, again, we said it today. Any issues that the players have, reach out to your player liaison, Dominique Carter, and he'll forward it to myself, Stretch, Mike, Damo, John, D-Knight, Katie. Shout out to them too, man, for holding it down for us. I'm greatly appreciative of the council. Forward your issues to him, and he'll make sure to get it to us. I'm looking forward to a competitive league, and we trying to grow. So brotherhood is very important to me. So I want to give a big, big thank you to everybody who contributed to that. April 13th, again, Hampton High School, 10 a.m., scheduled to be out soon. So for Damo, for Mike, for Stretch, I'm Statman AJT. I'm out.